Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer unit tip and faction recommendations here. We are currently working on the Forces of Chaos, and the next unit we're going to discuss here is the Demon Prince. But first, before I get started, if you're enjoying these videos, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. So the Demon Prince, definitely a very good unit for 250 points. Has 400 health, 2 action points, 4 movement, 8 armor, and negative 15 evasion. It is an HQ unit, as you could tell by its border, but just in case you're unfamiliar with that, what that does is allows you to make him possibly your HQ commander, which means he'll have your command point abilities. He has a very impressive ranged attack. He's one of the few units on the Forces of Chaos that has a ranged attack. It has 3 attacks. Each one does 21 to 28 damage. It does have 2 splash damage for each attack that ends up landing, and it does 8 to 11, has an armor piercing of 5, and an optimal range of 4, so he has decent range. He has an excellent accuracy at 90% and tends to land a lot of attacks very easily. And because he has the 3 attacks with only a 10 fall off even at longer ranges than the 4, he'll still pretty consistently end up landing hits. Now, he does have 2 different melee kits. The default one is the Hellforged Sword. It has 1 attack. It does 75 to 100 damage, and it has splash damage up to 3 for 30 to 40 damage with an armor piercing of 5 with a base accuracy of 90. So this will frequently allow you to just totally scythe through any weak units that are in front of you with good splash damage, just clearing everything out. And it does enough base damage that even if you're stuck having to melee another very powerful unit, you can still do good damage to them. Now, the second option for 40 additional points, which means this now brings us up to 290, is you give them the Demonic Axe. And that gives you only 1 attack still, but the base damage goes up to 90 to 120. It brings the armor piercing from 5 up to 7. But for 40 points, unless you have 40 points you just can't spend anywhere else, I think this is a terrible unit, terrible weapon. It's very expensive. If you get him the Demonic Axe and then he ends up getting surrounded by low tier infantry, he doesn't have splash damage anymore, so he just can't move unless he's gonna walk through a bunch of reaction and zone of control stuff, so it just totally nullifies him. And then being so close with the Infernal Cannon, he's going to be missing shots too. So even to use it as like a duelist with a Demonic Axe, it doesn't do enough increase to your base damage here. You're talking about 20 points of increased damage, and you lose all sorts of utility on him in terms of the splash. So I think it's an absolute shit idea to bring the Demonic Axe, and every time I've tried to use it or I've had somebody else, one of my opponents, select it, they never get any utility out of there. So I would rather just not even spend the 40 points that are left and just keep them with the Hellforged Sword. So just like most Forces of Chaos, other than the Bloodthirster here, he does have the Unstoppable Ferocity ability. So when he is triggering Overwatch Fire, he'll get plus 20 evasion, so now it goes up to 10. He does have a bonus attack, which doesn't cost any AP. Every 2 turns he can use this, called the Malefic Talons. And it's actually a pretty good attack. It does 33 to 45 damage with an armor piercing of 7. And it does do splash damage to multiple other units that are in the squad. If it doesn't kill the unit attack, they will get a reaction, a counter attack. So just be aware of that if you're using it against other powerful units like a Dreadnought or other commander units, that you will get they will be able to do a counter attack on you. He also has a demonic ritual, so he is a summoning unit. So every 2 turns, with a 3-turn cooldown, he'll be able to summon a new unit. It first becomes available on turn 3 because it has that charge time to stop you from summoning really powerful demonic units right away, which I think makes perfect sense. And then he also has a buffing ability called Might Over Magic, so this ends up giving everything within 1 tile of him 5 melee accuracy and plus 25 melee damage, and it lasts for 2 turns. And it has a 2-turn cooldown when you do use it, so it doesn't quite explain well what it does, but that's how that would work. So as you can imagine, you could end up putting that on you know, your bloodthirsters before you're ending up jumping them in to increase their damage even further. You can then buff them even further by using the Bloodmaster's Locus of Khorne, which increases armor piercing, and damage by 10% to all units within 2 turns, so you can quickly stack up a bunch of buffs here with these additional supports. Now, the Locus of Khorne only applies once, so it doesn't stack up multiple times, because that would just be incredibly powerful for the amount of Bloodmasters that you can put out on the field. But between these buffs here, you know, you could do the Insensate Rage to get, you know, 25% increased damage plus another you know, 25, so now you're up to, you know, 50% damage with some accuracy buffs to your bloodthirsters. Gets to be some pretty incredible amounts, especially since this sticks around for 2 turns. And then you can help get these guys to their maximum momentum by having multiple bloodthirsters around them, because they get the greater demon ability, so you get plus 20% momentum gains, and it stacks up to 2. So I don't know why it says it twice there in the description, but this will stack up to 2, so then you can get plus 40% momentum gains when you're getting kills with these guys, so you can rapidly get him up to his max momentum to help him surge, get additional attacks, summon more guys, definitely start spiraling out of control pretty quickly here. So I do have one set up with the Hellforged Sword, and I'll bring one out with the Demonic Axe, but because I'm wasting these points on these 40 points here, I now have 30 points that I can't use to select another unit, where I would totally be able to bring another unit out if I wasn't getting this axe. So again, just another reason why I just hate this damn axe, and I think it definitely needs to be buffed, especially if it's going to cost you an additional 40 points, because these guys are not the equivalent of a Bloodthirster here, which is 300 points, whereas these guys are 250, but it comes up to 290 if you bring the Demonic Axe, so it just does not make sense in any situation that I can think of where I'd want to spend those 40 points. So we'll set up a match here. And we did Tyranids last time, so I guess we'll do Necrons this time. And we'll make one of these Bloodmasters our commander. We'll just advance everybody as much as we can. Alright, well, let's bring you guys out here.
None shall live. Violence and death. Their blood will flow.
Yeah, they don't get their splash damage when they're on Overwatch, so that's something to be aware of. So we're just summoning as many guys up as we can here.
Towards the slaughter. Heed the call of the Axe-Father. Lord of Rage, command me. Forward, blood for the blood.
And we'll just bring these guys up a little bit to just hold down the fort. Something like that. Alright. So we got these guys here. So we'll use his might ability here. Increase everybody's damage. And that does go on him as well. So then again, you know, let's say this guy is here, right? So let's smack him, and you can see he does good damage here. And we'll use his bonus ability here to smack those guys. One's up. We'll use his ability, smoke down here. Killed those guys. And now, let's, you know, if this guy was here by himself, we can now get him out of trouble by attacking there. And attacking here. Okay, we could have attacked there, but apparently we're missing our attacks. But this guy has a single attack, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, well, how do I want to use this guy? Alright, and you want him, when you're playing the Forces of Chaos against Necrons, you want to wait for them to have their resurrection completed, so that way the splash damage will actually carry through on them.
Lord of Rage, command me. Violence and death.
Alright, so we got all these guys over here yet, too. So I'll just use the Rage, smack everybody there. And then we can do this again, and that'll take out all the scarabs that are in the way here. And we'll just let you guys smack all these guys down. Attack here. Oh, you didn't kill him.
The blood must flow.
That's pretty disappointing. Let you charge through here. Let you charge through here. Alright, they're down. You've got your one attack. I can't even use you to kill these guys because you've only got one thing there.
Whatever Khorne demands.
So definitely not a fan. I guess we're going to attack here. Let you move up. Get the kill there. Because I can't do a whole lot else. Let you come here, kill that guy.
Violence and death.
Alright, just have to end turn. And then for his ranged attacks, you can see, you know, he does pretty good damage here. He's not quite positioned appropriately to get the maximum abilities, but I'm trying to just show off I'm getting a bunch of kills here. So we got there. We'll let you smack here. Alright, so you've almost got enough to surge, which is what I'm trying to get you to do. Smack there. Smack here. Bring you down here because I don't want these freaking guys. warping all over the place on me.
Our position is compromised. I am the Blood Master. Lord of Rage, command me. Wrath and rage.
Alright. You guys can keep smacking these guys down.
None shall live.
Get you over here to lock those guys down. You can attack here, start weakening them.
I am the Blood Master.
Yeah, these Necron boys do so much damage against the forces of chaos. Alright, so we'll just go here and this should get you the momentum. So now if we wanted to empower these guys' attack, you can empower the Talons, which increases the damage to 59 to 70 with 9 armor with the same splash damage, and it gets you a 1-turn cooldown. You could empower the Demonic Ritual, and that just does the same thing it does for the other summoning. It just brings it up to 2 tiles, with the cooldown being down 1. And if you ended up doing the Might over Magic, it increases the melee accuracy to 20%, increases the melee damage up to 55%, and the area it covers is all units within 2 turns, or within 2 tiles. And the other thing I'd like to know is, does it increase the duration or not? So let's try it out. So it's still 2 turns. I suppose it would be way too powerful if it lasted longer than 2 turns.
Violence and death.
Alright, come on, man. Drop them.
I am the Blood Master. Blood for the Blood God.
Alright, attack here. You guys can attack there.
Towards the slaughter.
Start bringing these guys over this way.
Lord of Rage, command me.
And we'll just do the range attack since you can see that he's
Bloodless soulless vessels.
actually able to hit at the range there, right? So I think you get an idea that it can do some pretty impressive feats here. Alright, so he's down. Looks like he's staying down.
Crush, trample, kill. None shall live. Violence and death. Khorne wills it so.
Let's just have you summon here.
Wrath and rage. Blood and brass.
Smoke him down. We'll just bring this guy up to here. So it's like, okay, well, let's come here and smoke there.
Are engaged.
And now you're just gonna attack here.
Soulless
And it does, I mean, good damage, but again, I don't know that it really makes a lot of sense to have that, because, you know, then one of the, this Might Over Magic Empowered is a fantastic ability, and it definitely skyrockets his amount of damage that he can do, but the chances of him being able to easily you know, hit the momentum with the axe unless you're killing guys at range is pretty low. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense, again, to bring that axe. I think it always makes sense to bring the Hellsword. It just has so much utility compared to the axe, but definitely that empowered ability with Might Over Magic is definitely something I would definitely use on the multiplayer matches if you're able to do that and you have a lot of guys around there, because for lasting 2 turns, those are some huge buffs and significantly increase the utility of all your forces. Because one of the common complaints that the Force of Chaos have is, you know, you have all these bloodletters, but they just don't seem to do a lot of damage against other forces, even though they have all those models there. Now they can damage everything because they have such good armor penetration, but the damage numbers aren't that high. But now once you start to stack up the blood letters next to each other, so they're getting the crit bonuses, now you have the Might Over Magic on top of them, giving them accuracy and damage buffs, and then you have a Bloodmaster by him. Now you can start to get some crazy damage being dealt. So I think that's how you're supposed to stack those guys up appropriately, and how you can maximize these guys. And then if the Demon Prince is too injured, you know, you keep him back, you shoot from range, and then you end up just using him as a summoning area every few turns to get additional units to help support the front lines. So definitely an extremely viable unit and fun unit to use. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe, because we post more content for you. Have a great day.